I don't know what it is about this new Starfox game, but there's something different about it. What is it? Oh yeah, the controls are horrible. What's up people, it's Nico, and today I want to talk about the latest first-party Wii U game that has been released, and that is Starfox Zero. And yes, it really is the latest first-party Wii U title, and it has been released 4 months ago. Wow, I guess Nintendo is really done with this console and is focusing entirely on the NX now. But let's not get sidetracked here. I've been trying a lot to like Starfox Zero. I have never been a fan of the Starfox series, but I always find the games to be enjoyable. I mean, Starfox 64 was pretty cool for its time, and I remember spending countless hours playing Starfox Assault for the GameCube. Sadly, it seems that I cannot get into Starfox Zero, no matter what I do. But Starfox Zero is supposedly a reboot of the Starfox franchise. You no longer have to bother about, crystal, dinosaurs and all that fun stuff. It's back to Fox, Falco, Sleepy and Peppy piloting their R-Wings and shooting down bad guys, right? I mean, even the box art for the game is reminiscent of the original Starfox for SNES, using real-looking animal costume-like thingies. Ugh, they creep me out. It's closer to Starfox 64 more than anything in terms of the story. I mean, the Lylat system is in trouble and you have to save it, starting with the original planet Corneria and making your way up to Venom. Heck, if you take a look at how the game is presented, it's literally Starfox 64, but in HD. I mean, look at this. Yeah, you see, it's the same thing. As I previously stated, I really liked Starfox 64. I even bought the Nintendo 3DS remake. So what's the problem with Starfox Zero here? Well, if you have read reviews or watched a couple of YouTube videos, you'd know that the main problem comes from the control scheme. The game wants to make use of the Wii U gamepad. And heck, why wouldn't it? I mean, it's supposedly the selling point of the console. Unless, wait a minute. Oh yeah, the Wii U is not selling that well, and this gamepad isn't really helping its case. Okay, before you rage in the comment section, wait a minute, okay, let me explain. Yes, there have been some titles that really make use of the Wii U gamepad, and in a good way. I'm thinking games such as Splatoon, Super Mario Maker, Super Mario 3D World, Starfox Guard, and a couple of games like that. The great thing about most of these games is that the gamepad screen is a secondary screen. It's not your primary screen, so you just glance at it and you do what you're supposed to do with it and you're back to the TV. For example, in Splatoon, you check it out when you want to jump back into the battle by tapping on one of your team members' icon. So you just glance, you tap, and you're back to the main screen. In Super Mario 3D World, you see a platform you can tap, so you glance at the gamepad, you tap on it, the thing moves, and you move on with your life. You can just progress in the level. In Starfox Guard, you see an enemy, for example on camera 4, so you tap on it and you're back on the TV screen to zap it. But in Starfox Zero, the TV screen displays your R-Wing, classic Starfox style. But the Wii U gamepad is your cockpit view. To me, this is no problem, okay? You can be more precise by looking through the cockpit view to shoot your enemies. Sadly, by doing so, you lose your focus on the main screen and end up ramming into a wall or something most of the time. This is because the game is kind of forcing you to look through the gamepad to defeat enemies. This isn't true at first, where you can kind of aim your reticle without looking just by moving the gamepad, but not really far into the game, you have to defeat those weird enemies by shooting their weak points on top of their head. Meaning that you have to fly on top of them using the TV, and then you tilt down the gamepad and you see their weak point and shoot them. Don't get me wrong, it's a genius idea in theory. I mean, it's intuitive, it makes use of the Wii U gamepad, it's badass, it's new, but for me at least, it's just not working. It's way too hard to switch focus between the two screens, and it really loses its purpose and just becomes annoying real fast. Now, Nintendo is not new to forcing you new control scheme, but they work fine, or you can turn them off altogether if you really can't use them. That's not the case with Starfox Zero. You always have to use both screens. You always have to divide your attention in between those two screens, and that's my main gripe with the game. If I had to compare the playstyle of this game to a real-life equivalent, for example, I would say that playing Starfox Zero is kinda like texting while driving. You have to try to divide your attention into two different things, focusing on looking at your phone and typing your message, as well as looking in front of you to drive correctly. Here's the thing though, texting and driving just doesn't work. There has been a million ads and PSAs about how texting while driving is dangerous. Heck, it's even illegal in a lot of countries, and for good reason. Sure, we humans have two eyes, but we can't tell one eye to focus on one thing and the other eye to focus on another thing. It just doesn't work like that. If I focus on my cell phone screen, then all of the rest of the scenery becomes blurry. But if I decide to focus on the scenery and drive safely, then the phone screen becomes blurry. So let's directly apply that to the Wii U gamepad and Starfox Zero situation. As you can see, the same thing happens. Either I see the TV screens and the gamepad is blurry, or I see the gamepad and the TV screen is blurry. This is exactly why I felt like comparing the control scheme of Starfox Zero to the act of texting and driving. Sure, you can manage to do it, and heck, if you look online, some people are really good at Starfox Zero, better than you and I will ever be. I mean, practice makes perfect, but it just doesn't change the fact that the control scheme just isn't the most optimal way to play the game. But hey, at least Star Fox Guard, which is bundled with Starfox Zero, is a really fun game and makes great use of the Wii U gamepad, right? So, I guess we're good. In conclusion, I try to like Starfox Zero, I really try hard, but I just can't do it because of the control scheme. But at least it's way safer than texting while driving, I guess. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, don't miss anything, click subscribe, and if you're super cool and want to go the extra mile, turn on notification. Alright, bye!